Hello, class of 2022. This is Miss Bauman coming to you to talk to you about, if you can believe it, senior registration, 12th grade registration. Feels like we are just settling into the school year, and here we go, ready to talk about registering for next year already. So just quickly, I know that you've been through this quite a few times before, so it should be pretty easy for you, but just quickly wanted to remind you on the process to register for your 12th grade classes. The registration information will become available on Thursday the 14th. We'll post it on Schoology, your student email account, our high school website, and then the newsletter that goes home to families every Thursday. You'll find all that information in any of those places. The standard place for finding all course registration information will be on the guidance website. We do fill that with a lot of information, so that's a great place to stop if you have any questions. The registration window to select your courses opens up then on Monday the 18th, and it'll be open until the 26th. This is when you can actually go into your student Skyward account and select your courses for your senior year. We will provide you with a registration worksheet, and I know that you won't be turning that in like you had in the past, but your registration worksheet is a great place for you to map out the courses that you might want to take and see what's all available in one spot. So we recommend that you use that. This is where you'll actually kind of maybe do your circles, but you'll select 14 semester courses and then 3 alternate electives in case you can't get into an elective that you're interested in taking. The worksheet also provides you with course numbers for the registration process. So when you actually go into Skyward, you do need to select the courses by their course number, and you'll find the course numbers on that registration worksheet. So it's a handy little tool for you. So just something to keep in mind. I know that you have done this quite a few times, and so it's important to just remember that any of us are able to kind of give you a little more information about what courses might be good for you to take. So teachers, counselors, older students, parents are all great places, or all great people to talk to when you are wondering whether or not the courses you are selecting are the right ones. Always check if you have any colleges in mind or are doing your college research right now. Always check to make sure that you are choosing courses that meet admissions criteria for a particular program, be it a 2 or a 4-year college. And then the registration manual is a really helpful tool as well. It provides all the course descriptions. So if you ever want to know a prerequisite or what you might be doing in that course, the registration manual, which is available on our high school website, is a great place to look and get more information. We as counselors use it all the time. So when a student comes to us and says, what will I learn in accounting? Because I'm not an accounting teacher, I don't have that memorized, I'll just go to the course registration manual and provide that information to a student. So it's a great place to start if you have any questions. So just something to keep in mind as you're planning for your senior year. This is what you would need in order to graduate. So 4 years of English, 3.5 years of social studies, including in that half comes from that half year of social studies in 9th grade, that geography year. 3 years of math, including statistics, 3 years of science, and they have to include physical science, biology, and chemistry or physics, half credit of Phy-Ed, quarter credit of health, quarter credit of speech, and then a full year of visual or performing arts. You bring in some electives in there, and you must graduate with a total of 23.5 credits in order to graduate on time. So as a senior, every senior still needs to take English. And so there are 3 or 4 different options for English for next year for seniors. We have English 12, Advanced Composition, and then AP Lit or Comp. And next year, the English department is offering that in a traditional format, and they're going to continue to explore the possibility of a hybrid format. Of course, courses will only be offered if there's a critical mass of students who want to take it, but right now they are offering it in a traditional or hybrid format. There is a credit of social studies available that all students need to take, and it's a combination for most students of government and econ. So you have regular, advanced gov and econ, and then if you choose to take AP government, you do not need to meet that econ requirement because AP government is a full year. And then, most of you will have finished those 3 years of math and science by the time you are a senior. So you're really taking math and science your senior year to continue your learning, continue your preparation for any kind of post-secondary plans you have. And then also you're taking that 4th year of science or math or foreign language to really meet any requirements you might have for admissions to another university. Don't forget, we've been saying this for years, but what it takes to get out of high school isn't always what it takes to get into a college. And so you need to make sure that you're filling in that gap with your own decisions on what courses that you take. So again, math, science, fine arts, those requirements might be met, but you may need to take some more to meet any admission requirements. You do need to take a full load in order to be considered for graduation for next year. So just because you might only need 3 credits, you still need to take a full load in order to be on track for graduation. Quick reminder on what our fine arts classes are. Fine arts include visual or performing. So your visual art classes are in that first column there. Anything in green requires a prerequisite. So that's something good to look up on the course manual if you don't know what that prerequisite is. So you've got visual arts and the performing with music and theater, and then other art classes that meet the art requirement are creative writing and the STEAM integrated physics class that's offered as well. So that STEAM class meets your physics and your art requirement. So again, keep in mind that you need to be meeting your high school graduation requirements when you're registering. Keep in mind your plans for after high school. It's always good to talk about your interests and abilities. This is just a really important reminder that this is the last time in your life where you can take a course just because you might be interested in it, and it will be free to you. If you decide to take an art class in college, it will have a tuition cost attached to it. So if you have an interest in business or art or engineering, now is the time to really explore those interests because it might blossom into a career choice or something you might want to study down the road. As all of you know by now, it is always easier to drop a class for an SPP than it is to add a class. So we really encourage you to fill your schedule with courses that you want to take, knowing that you can drop down and take an SPP down the road. So we really encourage you to do that. And most of you know by now what is challenging and manageable for you. So we really want you to continue to prepare yourself for life after high school by taking a challenging course load, but don't overdo it. Don't overwhelm yourself because your mental health and life work balance is still way more important than all that other stuff. So we want to make sure that you take a challenging course load, but don't overwhelm yourself. So keep that in mind when you're talking to teachers about whether or not you should take a certain AP course and things like that. They might only be considering that one subject area and not whether or not you should take that AP class in the scope of all of your classes. So you want to make sure that the classes that you choose fit in with the other classes that you choose as well. Because I think for many of you, you would have teachers that would say that you should take AP in all subject areas, but when you combine them, it just might be too much. If you have questions about that, we're happy to help you walk through that process. So now is the time to make thoughtful selections and do your research, asking questions of your teachers, classmates, things like that. We can't guarantee that we'll be able to make changes down the road. So we really need you to do that research and that research and ask those questions right now. We will always do our best to honor your first choice, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes there's a conflict or the course isn't offered. And so we really need you to choose some alternate electives that we could go back into and add into your schedule down the road. We don't have the ability to call you over the summer when we're fixing your schedule. So we really do rely on you providing the information up front during this process. Don't forget that the registration window opens on Monday the 18th. There will be an instructional video in which you can learn how to do the registration, although most of you know it is done through your Skyward account and how to select your courses. Again, you'll be choosing 14 semester courses and 3 alternative electives. So don't forget, a year-long course is considered 2 semester courses. Now is the time to make those discussions and make sure that you're asking those good questions versus trying to make a change down the road. We just can't guarantee that. So we really encourage you to do that now. As you know, many of you have probably experienced some point where you couldn't get a class that you wanted to because it wasn't offered or because it filled up. And we make a lot of our master schedule decisions based on the things you tell us right now. We can't make those master schedule decisions in August. So we make those decisions now about budget and how the courses will lay out in the school year next year right now. And so we make those decisions based on what you tell us right now. So please keep that in mind and make sure that you're being very thoughtful in your selection so that we can do our best to fit your needs. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact any of us.